California insurance doom loop continues.
The devastation of wildfires in the western U.S. extending well beyond these charred remains, with people now losing the ability to insure their homes. California residents are scrambling after 72,000 property insurance policies were dropped by the state's largest home insurer, State Farm.
They pulled out of the state of California, and there's nothing we can do other than beg.
Jill Osborne lives in Sonoma County. While her home was not destroyed in a fire, it's one of thousands deemed high risk. She feels blindsided after losing insurance.
They say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is here. Well, they're certainly not here for us.
State Farm saying, in part, this decision was not made lightly, citing inflation, catastrophe exposure, reinsurance costs, and the limitations of working within decades-old insurance regulations as reasons for dropping the policies.
How close that is to the highway.
But for homeowners, insurance is more vital now than ever as the threat of natural disaster grows. There were more than 7,000 wildfires in California in 2023 alone.
We are all struggling now with these very, very severe weather events for which you really can't defend yourself.
And this isn't just a problem for Californians. In Florida, insurance premiums have soared as a number of major companies have pulled out of the state.
You didn't write it out here, did you, or did you?
No.
In the aftermath of August's Hurricane Idalia, our Gabe Gutierrez spoke to one Florida resident who saw her home insurance rate double.
Yep, I'm still paying it because you get nervous not to.
Rates remain high, but relief for Florida homeowners could be on the way, as state regulators announced last week that 8 new insurance companies will enter the market. But back in California, the newly uninsured are reeling as wildfire season looms.
We should not be living in fear during fire season every year. We need to have confidence in our infrastructure, and that is simply what we don't have right now.
All right, so we've covered State Farm as they basically got rid of any new business policies, personal policies, not doing any new ones. State Farm, like so many other insurance carriers, just kind of ratcheting down what they will cover. Well, now they've come out and they've said, yep, those 72,000, I think it was 30,000 residential policies and 42,000, apartment policies on individual apartments. Yeah, we're not renewing those. So, yep, we're out of this. Now, before we jump on in there, I want to read something to you here. So much of this is, well, it's because of global warming. We've got warmer weather. You know, our houses are just burning up. And some of that is true. But a lot of this has to do with, this is California policy coming back to haunt them. So it's gotten so bad in California that insurance companies are basically saying, even if we charge a whole bunch, which you're not allowing us to do, yeah, we can't make a profit. So we're out of here. We're out of here. And I want you to take a look at this. All right. So at the very end of this article, and this is why I chose this article, here's what's being done to help. All right. We can help homeowners in high-risk areas by switching to electric appliances, powering our homes with solar energy, and making sustainable choices when we shop. Even when one small change multiplied by thousands of people can help curb the pollution driving more extreme weather. So you're saying I should get an electric car because pollution, global warming, insurance rates. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to save the California insurance industry by switching to an electric toaster. Yep. That's what we're doing. Okay. Yeah. Or solar energy. Yeah. All right. And then State Farm is just going to come running back into this marketplace. Problem I have there is that, aren't, a lot of states experiencing the whole weather thing, right? I mean, this is not just, isolated in California. No, this is decades of California policy coming back to bite them in the butt. State Farm announces major insurance policy change affecting tens of thousands of households. This decision was not made lightly. It's kind of like when they're talking about closing up a store. Yep, we weighed all the odds and While we're very sad for the residents in this community, you can still shop with us online, just not in your local neighborhood. Yeah, no, because we couldn't make a profit. You guys stole too much from our store. We out of here. Yeah, that's what you got going on. You got a situation with State Farm, and they've just said, yeah, California, no. Hard no-go. No. In March, State Farm stated that it would discontinue coverage for around 30,000 homes and 42,000 apartments, citing surging costs, increasing risks of disasters such as wildfires, and outdated insurance rules as reasons for terminating the policies, per the Associated Press. The insurance company said that the policy expirations would occur on a rolling basis through 2025, starting July 3rd. Can you imagine getting your notification and beginning of summer? Yeah, happy 4th of July to you. As of July 3rd, you're a no-go. We appreciate your past business, but our association with you moving forward, we're going to release you to better opportunities within your insurance portfolio needs. Yeah, you're fired. You're fired. The insurance company said the policy expirations would occur on a rolling basis starting July 3rd for the homeowner, rental, dwelling, and business owner policies and August 20th for commercial apartment policies. Bottom line is, California they are increasingly going to have fewer and fewer options. And I've read enough stuff where folks are saying, you know what? I'm going to have to sell and move elsewhere. I simply can't afford insurance. And insurance is just one component of home ownership, of property ownership, of whatever, right? It's one piece of that. But when you've got dues you got rates that are doubling and people just simply can't afford it, and they're going to be forced to sell, and it's going to be one more reason. Hey, you want to move to California? No. One of my other stories was Gavin Newsom. He's up on top of, the Golden Gate Bridge. He's just way up top. He's got this great view looking down, very picturesque. And he's up top, and he is bragging about the record level of tourism dollars that have come into the state of California. Just they had a recent record-breaking level of tourists come to the Golden State of California. When the reality is that it had a lot to do with inflation more so than the actual dollars being spent. Dollars inflated? Yeah, you account for that and back that off. They're actually down. California's actually down like 19% over 2019, our pre-pandemic kind of measure that we look at. So, Newsom's always trying to spin something. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, let's go out to the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm going to run up there and I'm going to talk about how record levels of, investment by tourism, their tourism dollar in California. And in reality, that's just not the reality at all, right? So we've got catastrophe exposure. We've got reinsurance costs and limitations of working within decades-old insurance regulations. You've got the perfect storm in California that is basically taking insurance company after insurance company after insurance company out of the marketplace. State Farm General takes seriously, this is corporate speak here, takes seriously our responsibility to maintain adequate claims paying capacity for our customers and to comply with applicable financial solvency laws. It is necessary to take these actions now, meaning, this isn't reasonable for us to insure your home in California. We out of here. We're gone. See ya. Bye-bye. Enjoy those wildfires. Yep. Enjoy those. Now, so what you've got is in California and in Florida, you've got these insurance companies kind of last resort, super, super expensive. You're probably only going to get one thing covered with their state supported, state funded, and you're going to be able to get insurance. It's going to be extremely expensive, but they can't leave you without insurance. You got to have an option, but that's what it's going to come down to for so many of these folks. If you are anywhere close to a wildfire area, if you are anywhere close to a flood zone in Florida, and you're just going to be just bend over and take it, or don't take it at all because we're out. We're no longer insuring in California. Per the Associated Press, the move came 9 months after State Farm announced it would no longer issue new business and personal property and casualty insurance policies in California. In other words, the company no longer thinks it can find a way to be profitable in the state. That's what happens when businesses run up against major pushback, like all of the regulations and ridiculousness that California throws at them. Eventually, businesses pull back and go, no. It's kind of like Walmart in these communities where they beg to have them come in, and then they just relentlessly steal from them. They pickpocket, they steal en masse, they take shopping carts and run them out the front door. You got video after video after video of that in these same stores. And then at some point, corporate comes along and says, we take the responsibility very greatly when we have to shut down a store that we know many of the consumers in the community take advantage of. Well, we didn't take this lightly and we thought this through, and we're going to have to close that store down. And then all the residents are like, why are you closing the store down? Well, because you robbed it blind. Why is State Farm pulling out? It's not because exclusively of the wildfires. It's because everything else in California just basically points to, you're going to have a tough time making any money here. Therefore, your best option as an insurance company is to get the F out. And then that just leaves a bunch of homeowners high and dry, right? All right. Policy doubled, like we heard that getting the person in Florida. Policy doubled. So what do we do here? A lot of folks in California, you're going to be in that same situation. And that's terrible. But got to remember, this didn't happen overnight. You've been voting in politicians. You've been voting in legislation that has gotten you here because, all of this protection for the consumer, at some point in time, when you rob a store long enough, you make it prohibitive for that company to make a profit. They're going to say, well, we're not in the nonprofit business, otherwise known as not making money. You stole from us time and time again. In the case of stores being closed, I'm just throwing that out there as an option. So therefore, we're done. Sorry, folks. 72,000 policies. No go. Yeah, we're not renewing them. So, why are the coverage cancellations concerning? Well, because there's going to be nobody left. When home and apartment owners are dropped from their insurance coverage, they have to scramble to find a new policy, which could be more expensive or not, cover their needs. When property owners in California are now facing non-renewal, they can buy a fair access to insurance requirements. That's a state-run private insurance program that offers policies to high-risk customers. And in California, that's everybody. Yeah. Oh, you live in California? Okay. Yeah. Nope. Don't think so. The last resort coverage is usually more expensive and provides minimal coverage. Doesn't that sound good? It's really expensive. I mean, you're barely going to be able to afford it. Oh, and the coverage you get, it sucks. It's terrible. This is the end result of years and years and years of consumers being protected by California policy. And guess what? Yeah, it's gone so far one way that the insurance companies are, no, thank you. No, thank you. Very little. However, with more insurance companies pulling out of California market or limiting coverage recently, due largely to the elevated risks of natural disasters, some homeowners may have no other option than to go with this insurer of last resort, the state funded. The register stated that fair plan policy counts have doubled in the last 5 years. So number of people using this last resort has doubled. Because of the increasing threat of natural disasters caused by our overheating planet, insurance companies in other vulnerable states, such as Florida, are also discontinuing coverage. In the last year, 4 insurance companies in the state closed their door to new and existing customers. Many private insurance companies in disaster-prone states are increasing premiums to offset the risks of extreme weather, which makes owning a home even more difficult since the cost of living is already high. I don't believe this ridiculous stuff on the whole weather kind of does its thing. Are things getting hotter? Are they? And what you've got in California is you've got a lot of situations where the homes that are being built near the wildfire probably should have never been built there to begin with. You've got such a housing crisis in California and things are so expensive that you're developing land that probably shouldn't be developed. Huh? What about that? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let's get out. Let's get the heck out of Dodge as an insurance company, because whether they built them or not, the houses are there and they're high probability they could burn up. So, you've got these growth management acts in these governments. Washington State has Growth Management Act, which is really limited where you can and can't build. In California, you've had such a shortage of housing, especially affordable housing, that stuff gets built where it arguably now shouldn't be built. So you're suffering from that as well. You're suffering from regulation, 10 ways from Sunday. And for-profit companies are basically saying, no. So changes to outdated regulations will improve choices for all Californians. So everyone has options beyond the FAIR plan. Is that, California is going to be doing a little reform action. Do you think State Farm is going to come back in? I don't think we've got anything more in this article. We've got a few more things to talk about, though, on this topic. So California gets a reform to their insurance policy. So, yeah, these insurance companies that have pulled out, okay, now they're going to be able to deal a little bit better with their risk. They're going to be able to manage their risk a little bit better. And they're going to be able to, what they're going to actually be able to do is increase their premiums to offset the extra risk they have been taking. Because one of the things I understand is that they haven't been able to increase their premiums to cover the rate of inflation, the cost of housing, and the additional risk from all these forest fires that have taken place. So they look at their books, these insurance companies look at their books and go, no. So when California comes out from underneath all this and goes, oh, we're going to change things up and you guys are going to be welcome to come back and do business. Do you think these companies are oh, okay, we can come back? Oh, you still got those wildfires? Yes, we do. Oh, no. Yeah, they're going to exit and they're going to very reluctantly come back in unless they can make an absolute killing. And maybe that's what happens. Maybe that's what happens. In the meantime, what's going to happen? You're going to have a bunch of people sell their homes. I'm out of here. Don't want to deal with this. Can't deal with this. There's always going to be people. There's always people coming into California. So there's going to be somebody who's going to say, it doesn't seem that expensive. I'll take it. You've always got that rotation happening, right? Especially in a big state like California. Because it's the economics, it's the employment that drives the machine, right? It's the employment. How many jobs are coming in? How many people are buying homes due to those jobs? What do those jobs look like? Are they high-paying jobs? Are they low-paying jobs? California has always had one of the most vibrant economies. That doesn't seem to be helping the insurance industry, because the insurance industry does its own set of books, right? And goes, Cali, no, thank you. We're not going to be servicing you. It's been a pleasure doing business with you, but moving forward, we're not going to have the same association. And by that, I mean, we're not insuring your home, your car, your business, whatever it is, whatever you got that you need insured. We are a hard no-go. And this isn't just State Farm. We're not just picking on State Farm. It's that State Farm has been setting themselves up for, we are out. They've had so many announcements on different things that is what it comes down to. So end result, things are going to get even more expensive for homeowners in California. And that sucks. But it's the end result of everything else that's going on in California that pushes business out. So what'd you expect? I mean, you've got that whole, minimum wage deal, and you've got businesses just jacking their prices up. It's cause and effect. Can't make money as an insurance company? All right, go F yourself. We'll go to a state that can. We're just going to stay there. And that's literally what State Farm is saying. Not in so many words, but their actions. All right. Thanks so much for being here. I'd love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the like button if you found this video helpful, entertaining, informative, whatever, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.